we're going to discuss microaggressions. So this is also a thing with like racism in general, not just black women. But of course, we're going to be talking about the black women microaggressions. Do you know what they are?
If you ever say pretty for a black girl, I promise you, Butty, I'll be at your doorstep.
What does that mean?
You're
pretty for a black girl.
Oh gosh.
Mom, that's microaggression. It's like the casual race, not a casual. Yeah, that's
the undercover.
The undercover racism.
Microaggression is like microaggressions are also kind of like the thing of like not picking a black person for your soccer team. You know, like your soccer team's like or like ignoring black people, or like saying things like, oh, I'm dark, like we're the same color now.
Yeah, it's the little big things. So if you guys don't know, microaggressions are, it's just basically it's the little but big things that are like that really cause you trauma over time, where you don't even realize it. You know what I mean? Where you start thinking yourself, I actually might be pretty for a black girl. You know what I mean? Because then you see yourself, when you see yourself as the black girl Kwezi, you're like, I'm actually quite ugly. When you see yourself as Kwezi, the black girl who's pretty for a black girl, then you think you're pretty. You know what I mean? And then it's those things where you also start waiting for people to start saying you're pretty for a black girl, to then start saying I'm beautiful. You know what I mean? So microaggressions are just like those things that are like very undercover, under the rug, racist and sexist. Well, sexist in terms of this whole black women chat. So racist and sexist comments or like actions, things that even black men would say and do towards black women. You know what I mean? And then that's also colorism as well. So there would be microaggression towards darker black women from lighter black women. You know what I mean? So it's always just like a whole other type thing.
Or just from other people.
Yeah, just from,
But Mom, have you ever experienced microaggressions?
Sure.
Where do I start? I have a burn book.
I mean, I suppose some of the things that I talked about earlier would fit into microaggressions. Some of them, because they were subtle, but I mean, they were. Some of them were obvious, but I think. I think for me, the biggest microaggressions would be where, you just repeatedly are not hired for a particular role or job, And I remember when I applied for a resident assistant position at St. Lawrence, they kept asking me, but you're as a foreign student, would you have the time? Do you? And I kept thinking, what is it that I need to be doing because I'm a foreign student that every other student doesn't need to do? And I couldn't understand. And then one of them said to me, don't you all have to work in the kitchen?
Huh?
I said, well, I'm applying for this job so that I don't have to work in the kitchen. Yes, I worked in the kitchen in my first job.
Because you're black.
Like all of us. Well,
absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, because
that's sexism and racism.
A lot of freshmen, especially international student freshmen, would get the lowest of the lowest jobs at school. But there were white people in the kitchen, but on the inside, because of the area. But I think it was just the assumptions, the sort of quiet assumptions about where you should be, and what job you should be in, and whether or not this is going to work for you. So, and you can imagine, for me, this is just fuel for a fit for a fight. I'm ready to take it all, which I did.
I'm really proud that you take things on, Mom.
It's so important.
Yeah, and it's harder than people think,
But I think for me,
for you it's natural, but
and I think for me, one of the things that I find is so important is strategy. Take things on, but take things on to win. Don't take things on, especially when you're angry. So one of the biggest things we have to do is to be able to step back. When you see this behavior, step back for a minute and ask yourself, okay, I need to beat this thing. I don't even know where this fits in, but one time when we were here in South Africa and I started to go to the gym. At the gym, they always spoke in Afrikaans. And you know, we would go walking, and we're a good group of us, like 10 women walking, and I'm the only black person in the group.
Really?
And
The only?
well, sometimes, you know, I'll be the only black person in the group. And as I'm walking, they would completely ignore me.
That's microaggression.
Even if we were two of us, they would completely ignore me.
That's
South Africans, sorry, in South Africa, the ignoring one. Oh my gosh.
So one day I decided,
oh my gosh,
that's it. You will see me.
period.
And so there we were walking, you know, and we're all sort of walking, you know, at about the same pace. Some are a little faster than the others. Of course, I'm super fit those days, so I was trying to keep up in the front. And so I ran in front of all these women who were walking across the road, and I faced them.
Period.
And I said, "What's my name?" None of them knew my name, hadn't even cared to ask. They didn't know what my name was. And I called out several of their names. And I said, "You know what? We are here to stay. We will walk with you. We will be here, and we will keep at it. So get used to this. You will speak to us. You will speak in English because we don't understand what you say, and we're part of the walk with you, you know?" And I remember my friend saying to me afterwards, she said, "Why did you even bother with that? That's like sucking up." That's how she saw it. She said, "Oh, that's like sucking up." And I said, "No, for me, and maybe because I didn't grow up in this country where, you know, for me, it would be automatic. I knew that I am not going to be in a place and you don't see me. You will see me, and I'll make you see me."
Why didn't I inherit that?
I think you have it, because like how for the past week you've been saying do this, and I'm like, okay. So I just have the balls to actually do it, but you have the mind.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the balls.
It's okay.
Yeah, balls.
I don't really have the mind.
Mom, I don't have the balls.
We do. So I think the difference for me is that I'm not a very like aggressive person. I'm assertive, but I'm not an aggressive person, and so I have to use a different strategy because it's not my default approach, right? And in different times you need both. So you need, you know, so there are those who need to push in front because they're much more aggressive and they're in your face like that. And then there's others who are using different strategies. So you have to use these multiple strategies. But that day I just got fed up. I thought, I'm not gonna keep coming here. And every time I come here, you just refuse to see me. You will see me. And I still find it, you know, like some of my church groups, you know, where they just suddenly switch to Afrikaans. And, you know, my default is to leave the group.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but actually, I'm the loser because I actually want to.
I want to exercise. Yeah.
Oh, I want to follow what's in that group.
The day they told me, my teachers told me that me pulling a sulky face is me not getting the education. I was like,
you see. So
I'm gonna feel excited.
So I actually will say to them that your message, I don't understand your message. Your message excludes me. Could you please, you know, recognize that I'm here? So I have to, you know, so you have to keep on, I'm here, see me, I'm here.
Yeah.
And just be there. Because one of the things we also do sometimes is that we get so angry that we remove ourselves.
Yeah, I definitely remove myself personally.
Well, I mean, and
I'm
sometimes,
not saying it's a good thing.
and
I don't think I
sometimes, no,
should
but
be doing
sometimes
that.
that's the strategy. Sometimes you need to remove yourself because there's so much disrespect that you can't have it. But I also believe in certain contexts. In certain contexts, I just believe that these are people who are so ignorant that they don't know. So I give them a chance.
At church.
So I give
in
them
the
a
house
chance.
of the Lord. You think
So I
you're
give
there
them a
even,
chance. So I give them a chance. So it's almost like, let me give you a rope, and you will decide whether you will pull me with this rope or you will hang yourself. You know. So here's the rope. And so the first chance I give you and I say, I'm here, then I'll watch your behavior. If you turn around and speak to me afterwards, then I know you're making the effort. And that's what happened with the gym, for instance. Most of them really made the effort, and every time I came, I would start the morning and say, and what's my name? And what's my name? And from then on, they knew my name, and now the whole gym knows me as Annie. all of them.
How did that happen?
I don't know,
Richie
they
is the
still
one who told you in
Africanized it.
India.
No, they
Yeah.
still
They still Afrikaners did.
Africanized. Guys, microaggressions to black women.
Also, I still think like you're a strong black woman is a microaggression to
Yeah,
black
yeah,
women.
yeah.
It's
Literally.
like it's always like the expectation that you like have some other ability
yeah,
to
I was gonna
withstand
talk about expectations that
something,
we
like
have to, that
because
people
you're a black
want us
woman.
to like. What's the word? Like, not be up to. What's the thing? Live up to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know about that micro? I don't know
The
if
thing
it's a
what
microaggression.
my friends called me.
No, when I went to
Discuss
Brooklyn
that.
Mall
You know who you
and I
are.
was having lunch at a restaurant. there.
Tasha's,
No, it wasn't Tasha's. It was.
Mykonos.
No, it wasn't there. It was upstairs next to where Levchak is now.
Mykonos.
That place next to Smeg.
Oh,
La
yes,
Cruzette.
yes, right there. And
The man.
I said to him that I wanted an egg in a particular way, and because I was insistent on that, he actually told me that I was trying to steal his money. Because I said to him, you know, if you don't give me the egg that as I, you know, the way I want it, then I'm not gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
So he actually, I put 50 rand down, and I said to him, I want, this is what I asked for. You gave me this, and so this is what I'm gonna pay for. So he took that money and he ripped it up in pieces, and he took it and he pulled my shirt and shoved it down my bra.
That's assault!
Actually, can't believe
That's assault.
somebody
Mom
did
uses,
that.
man. I'll fight him on my own.
He's the
Drink
owner
her
of that restaurant, and he's there all the time. I took it to the police, but we're still waiting, and it's 20 years now.
So I wasn't alive. I want to report him. I'm going to report you, sir, if you're
So I don't know if
watching
that's
this.
a microaggression, that's a macroaggression.
That is
Yeah.
racism. Something I just want to address. If you're a black man and you're watching this, just please listen out.
Yeah.
You need to understand, no matter what race you have, like, no matter what race you marry or the mother of your baby is, that child will be black.
Yeah.
And if that child is a daughter,
She
she will experience these. As sad as much as we're all trying to speak up now for the girls in the future, because like me speaking up, of course, would be great for you guys to like apologize, but just kind of like, I don't want you to carry on treating people this way, but just kind of like, I don't want your daughter to now come home and say, daddy, they told me to tame my afro. And then you don't realize that it's an issue because of how how society has made your mind think of black women in a certain way. Like how you don't understand it because of how you've let that happen and how you've carried it on and how you haven't listened to the black women that have tried to help you with this or tried to educate you with this because of how you're just being defensive and label us as angry black women. You know, like the whole story, like, okay, so if you went to AISJ, you know the post that Nabila, Shaluva and Bami put up, which are telling all of our stories as black women, and people were really quick to be defensive about it because like, oh no, you're exposing me. It's like, you actually don't know how much balls, like how many scroti it took for us to literally tell our stories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, for me, okay, so for me in general, I rant a lot. So I guess sometimes these stories could have come up, but it's like for me to actually tell someone, yes, use it for a movement for the better of our people, that is really a lot on you. And like even now, I haven't realized how hard it was. And for me to also post it and put my name there, not make it anonymous, I also feel like that itself was also a lot. And for you to now then defend yourself because you are being exposed, yeah, you're literally belittling my feelings and trying to water down what you've said to me, you know? And then the times when I've defended my friends because of how you have literally said someone else has AIDS because of how my friend had sex with another guy, because of how she was a black woman, and then for you to then flip it around and insult my friends and I and call us the N-word, B-word, and call us the N-word female dogs, that I'm not gonna swear because I know adults watch this and like children might watch it too, but like literally for you to now call my friends and I the N-word female dogs in retaliation to us crying about how you've hurt us in general, that is absolutely disappointing. and also just disgusting. Because something that I've been telling people this past week is that for me, because of how in South African schools a lot of men make it obvious and make sure that you know that you're ugly because you're a black woman. So for me, like when I moved to AISJ, this is also something I don't know if Lion knows, but something you guys also don't know. When I moved to AISJ, I then put hope in the men there, and I think that's also why I've given them so many chances, because I'm already too patient and too understanding with certain situations. But I feel like I put so much hope in the men at AISJ that literally no matter what race, that like when they would do things or say things that were discriminatory towards black women, in my heart I'd be like, no, I know they're better than this, when in fact I'm just hurting myself even more by the day. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, again, so now it's like on my part, you guys now make us rethink how am I treating myself because of how I've let you treat me this way. The same way that people at that same school at AISJ, I don't know how I stayed at that school like the same, like men, basically, not the same men, like men at that school refer to my friend group as Fat Female Dog Squad because of how we were black. And don't you dare say that that's an excuse because of our weight, because I can assure you that it's actually incorrect in terms of BMI. You know what I mean? I'm like, but actually, if you actually want to check in terms of BMI, you are wrong. So you can't, and then why are we female dogs? Like, why are you using the B word on us? I've never fought you. The people that said this, I've never fought you. In fact, you guys called me your big sister this whole time. So what's your beef? And I'm like, the fact that whenever we would be called these like negative things, they would always exclude my one white friend that's part of our group. So I'm just like, if you don't think this is not a racial microaggression type insult, then I don't know what you're thinking. And the fact that when I would try help you understand, the fact that you'd fight me or make a joke out of it or mock me and make me feel less or inferior to you, it doesn't really make sense with my brain, you know what I mean?
You know, when I listen to you, I just think to myself, what a
Mom's like, I shouldn't have taken you into the
I
hole.
should have
That
homeschooled
snake
you from
pit.
the second like.
But yeah.
No, it's just how microaggressions become macroaggressions.
That's what takes the little big things.
And in the same
Big
in the
little
same
lies,
vein,
man. It's a little big lies.
in the same vein, if you want to
Period.
change like racism or crime in that culture, you change it by
The small
the
things.
small things.
Yeah.
And eventually turning it into a new culture. So what is sad to listen to you is to hear that, you know, here is a school that is considered an international school. And this school has a culture that is just infested with microaggressions
Literally.
against women.
ripped
And
up
it
rock.
is just so sad because these are the men who then later on become actual
Parents to
macroaggressors.
Yeah.
Right? Because right now they're young, but when they get
Oh,
older
genuinely.
and they continue behaving like that, that's going to be violence, and I wish them luck as they go through life. And yet, they have a chance, and you guys have been giving them a chance from all my observation to turn that around, that they have the opportunity to do some serious reflection, because, you know, they are reflecting what they either grew up in their household or what the school, I mean, I love the term microaggression because it happens in such subtle ways that, you know, you even have to check yourself.
Yeah.
You're asking yourself, did I?
Was
Did
that
I?
assault?
Did
Yeah.
I? Was it? You know, but he's a nice guy, he's my friend, but
Hey.
did he, you know, did he mean it or did it, you know, and then you even go back and you check and you say to him, you know, when you said this, is that what you meant?
Yeah, you find yourself like making excuses.
Like
for
making
them as
excuses,
well.
second guessing yourself, because you almost, you know, you almost can't believe that somebody who you care about and you think cares about you would turn around and behave like that. I experienced this in so many ways at work, and I just thought about one which I had never really put into this box of microaggression, but it really is. And we were working on this project across these 5 countries in this region, and working with with the heads of state and at a very high level. The organization wanted to close the program, but to do that they needed to sort of get permission from heads of state of these countries. And so some of the heads of state wrote letters, like this, the presidents, prime ministers of country, they wrote letters to the UN to say that this is what they want from the program. Someone then sends a message to say that I must have written that letter and manipulated the head of state. And I'm thinking, and then the plot twist is that because everybody wants to sleep with me, so even the prime ministers and the heads of state.
So that's because of like the over-sexualizing black women.
Because it's the only way and the only tool that we have to influence power.
Yeah.
Especially in the minds of black men.
And the fact that
they actually think that this is what we do, that we actually sexualize every So anytime you have any kind of relationship with a man, a professional relationship, it's also immediately put into a sexual box.
But also the fact that they've chose to sexualize us shows again that they've chosen the lie of us only being able to have power when we're having sex with our bosses. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, that in itself
it's
is
like
you choosing for me once again, and that's what people always
like you
do
see
for
your
black
own
women.
body, you see, okay, her body is voluptuous, she's probably using it as a weapon, and then you accuse her for using her body as a weapon. Meanwhile, she's just been copying your photocopies in the copy machine the whole time. Like she's just like,
I actually, to be honest, went to Francie, who used to make my clothes, and I just said to her, Francie, I don't want anything that fits my body. So I got a whole series of clothes.
Huh? You don't want anything?
No. I want a whole series of clothes that are like A-line dresses and A-line skirts that will not show my body, because I don't want that every single time I'm, training or presenting speeches or whatever it might be in front of all these men, that they're sexualizing me or objectifying. So I actually started changing how I dress, and I know many women.
I did.
Who
You
have to
tell
do
me
that.
that I don't wear
I haven't
skinny
did
jeans
that at
anymore.
school.
That's why.
That's also at
Wow.
school.
Yeah, you notice the way I've changed the way I dress because of that same reason.
It's like
Like
the
people can't
eyelash.
concentrate. Like it's like you're just like, are you actually serious? Like, you know what I mean? You're just
That's
like,
what
I actually
I say
don't
about
feel
dress
like
codes
being-
are in favor of
Yeah,
men.
dress code
But
is
also
sexist.
men, but there's a belief in men that they're primal, that they're like animals.
Yeah, because they literally
Mm.
say
And they
like,
have
oh
no
my gosh, don't get me
self-control.
started.
On this issue, and
Don't get me
that there
started.
is some sort of animal in them that forces them to behave in a particular way, and that's rubbish.
Do you know what? Yeah.
And also,
Because we came from the same place, and if we were primal too, we would also.
You know, I also used to think like, because guys would genuinely talk about blue balls as if like your balls are gonna explode and it's gonna be like bloody,
and people making
what the Chernobyl
making
afterwards.
making it hard
Like,
on
you know what I mean? Huh?
making his hard on your problem.
Yeah, just like and I not to say like I thought that it was a problem, but they really made it sound like it was a big deal. You know what I mean? Like it's a kind of like, oh my gosh. But then it wasn't until like I was talking to this one guy and he was literally like, well, my like arousal isn't your problem, and I was
Exactly.
like, I was like,
yeah, guys.
I
always
know,
like,
but
you
it's just
gave me
like
blue balls.
true, but
and
it's just like, you
stuff.
know, hearing that from a guy. I'm like, if you're telling me this, and this is your genitalia that we're speaking about, and you're telling me that you yourself, like the feelings that you are feeling are not my problem, that really made me like, yeah, like why did I ever think that this was real? Like honestly, the fact that you're out here and like you're feeling all these feelings, like it's actually not my problem. one bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, like,
And
just
I mean,
having
even if
that
you
come
do
out of the
feel
guy's
them-
mouth, I was like, wow.
Yeah, even if you do feel them, you're human. You have control.
Yeah.
So
And
just,
Also, just check yourself before you think. Every time you now see a small curve, you're busy like relax.
Yeah.
Like also
But
just relax
yeah,
yourself.
Back to the whole the primal thing that you said about like how men see themselves as like animals or whatever. It's also again with racism and like lighter the darker you get. Like the darker you get as a woman, the more of an animal you're seen as in terms of sexual things. Also like in terms of crime and dirtiness. Like we all know that people just see black people as actual just I don't even know, like gorillas or something. But it's just kind of like literally how people always say like really pale white people. It's like, yeah, you just have this like really good, just intimate intercourse, just really peaceful and like, wow, that was amazing, Susan.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a beautiful child. And then once you start getting darker to like someone that's kind of like mixed race or like Hispanics, like, oh, it's a bit wild and frisky. And then now you get to black people, it's like, wow, it's animal and like vigorous and just, wow. And I'm like, what is going on?
That's my thing.
Why are we like sexualized to like a zoo? You know what I mean? I'm like, why is it
always
and
like animalistic?
You know, like, yeah, why is it animalistic? It's just like that again in itself. I'm like, that is also just microaggression. That it's like you look at Stacey walking past and you're like, whoa,
like white guys,
be nice to
like
you, but
white
black
guys
women is like, yeah, I want to hit once because like
it's wild,
whoa, that's
animalistic.
wild,
I don't
wild
know what,
lines.
like,
I'm
yeah,
like,
no.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
No, literally, when guys like, yeah, no, I'm a hit
And I was,
I've never
this is
been
like,
with a black girl.
yeah, this is like a different thing, like just like the same thing with the aggression things, like not thinking that like black women have the capability to be like soft and gentle and patient and you know what I'm saying, like and respected. Exactly, like I feel like if I feel like in my experience, like if I've ever like been whatever with a white guy, oh, bro.
I tried to.
No,
I
because
really
you
tried
genuinely open my eyes up to this thing, because I just feel like even like the way like white guys approach black women is like very like, but yeah, like it's like you know, it's like aggressive. Like if I've ever like been in those situations, like the way white guys like whatever on black girls, it's like they expect you to be like more like aggressive and all these things, like which is just even like, you know, that's how you expect them to be just in general. And then now it's like, besides the fact that you want to shame me in class for being an aggressive black woman, but you want to use me in the bedroom for my aggressiveness is just really besides me.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like the fact like it's like you don't think that black women are capable of being like loved, gentle, you know, like
and things
beautiful,
and also how things
like,
can't be genuine
soft,
as a
yeah,
black
genuine,
woman.
exactly. Like also, yeah, it's not genuine. It's like, yeah, we're just here to like people don't think that like, I don't think people think of like dark skin black love as like something that's like genuinely like,
yeah,
you know, it's like, oh, someone's cheating on somebody and someone's using something and they have like animal sex and like whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's not like you guys actually go into the bedroom and he lays you down on the bed and
no one
you
thinks that, but then
like caresses your skin. Like no, it's not like you don't think about like black love like that.
And also, yeah, with the whole thing about being genuine, it's also the whole thing about interracial couples. The minute there's a black man and a white like girlfriend, or like just lighter than black or just not black, it's always like, wow, well done, dude, you've made it, you've done it for all of us. Please, Bill Gates, you know what I mean, like black Bill Gates, please, Wakanda forever. But then literally as soon as I would go for my man Chad, I'm a white man's whore. And I'm like, are you serious?
Like,
what if Chad is literally like, hey, listen, you're so beautiful, and what if he's had good intellectual discussions with me about like, I want to understand why I can never understand, and Chad actually wants to know, and Chad's literally like, yeah, listen, no, you
Chad's
handle
white,
our daughter's hair. Yeah, Chad's white. It's like, you handle our daughter's hair. I can't do it because I know I don't understand.
Yeah, just like,
you know what I mean? But it's just like literally, why is it always like it's just like how exactly, like you can never think that a black woman can like someone like someone in a genuine way, you know what I mean? Like even if she's been cheated on or left, it's always like, what has she done? Or it's maybe it's the way she's nurtured. Yeah, maybe it's because she's too insecure, or she used the person, she's too manipulative. It's like, it's never the fact that the marriage didn't work and then they just got divorced, you know what I mean? Or if they got cheated on, it's just kind of like, what about the guy? Or you know what I mean? It's always some other like why do black women always have to have some other reason of us being malicious, you know? Yeah. It's just kind of like, why black women are always painted as negative, like being, not even just negative animals. And then the fact that now we're angry because this has been going on for literally the beginning of time, now the fact that we're speaking up, we're still seen as angry black women because we finally have the heart and balls to talk about how we actually are angry because of how tired we are of crying ourselves to sleep, you know? It's just like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying about like microaggressions being the little big things, because you think it's little because it's under the rug, like yeah, I'll just get with her one time, or only at this party. I never go for black girls, or just like you ignore her,
hit her.
Or whatever. Or just like
different.
Yeah, it's different. Not like
no.
Like she bangs. You know.
But there is language that is used that a lot of the language that has to do with being with a woman and being with a black woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very rough like that.
Yes, it's very like
and quit it.
Yeah, hit it and quit. Yeah, and it's just kind of like, that's what I'm saying about the microaggressions being little big things. Because if I'm told from the day I start understanding the language you're speaking,
bro, can you twerk?
Oh my gosh, yeah, exactly. It's like
that one,
since
like
day one. If I've been hearing this whole time, then of course it's gonna become big, because it's not like once I hear it and I hear it again, this one slides on, this one comes in. It's like, no, it's literally like Tetris, you know what I mean? And it doesn't go out when the bottom goes even. It literally just builds.
It just comes back to like what you think black women are like. Yeah, you know, you're like, oh, like the can I twerk thing is just like, even that, like in the club, like just expecting like all black women to be that girl that twerks on you and makes your night. So that's how you like approach, all black women in any situation. Like, oh, can't you get down? Like, aren't you like the rest? Like, no.
Yeah,
like that's just like, what do you think we are? Like, yeah. And then you get shamed and like, you get shamed for not being that. It's the same thing of like black women getting shamed for like not being black woman enough. Is like not okay, because it's like, what do you think black women are? Like aggressive, like animalistic, sexual, like all of these things. And when you're not that, then you're called a white woman, and you're called white, you're called I don't know what, you're called all these things just because you don't want to fit like the barbaric like narrative that you've given to like all other black women. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Like, literally, when we went out, my sister and I went out, and then they were playing music.
Oh my God.
We were literally like just dancing on our own, and then they played a song, like a twerking song. But I personally, I don't like twerking in front of people that I don't know, because I'm also kind of like, I don't want you to just stare at me randomly. Like, that's something
like
I would do
a
with my
show
friends.
monkey.
Yeah, like a show monkey.
Also, like, why do you want to? You just want to watch us twerk?
Yeah, exactly.
Just to observe, like a zoo.
When
like,
I told you, we weren't the only females in the club. We weren't even the only colored. What's it? People of color in the club as well. But then, literally, they played a song, Malika and I were literally just like,
the whole club.
We just see a bunch of guys coming around us, and then and then guys started clapping. I'm like, am I doing a show? Do you see like a baton?
I haven't even sung.
Am I doing ballet? Like, is this a sketch?
It's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, what do you think I am? Like, who do you think I am?
There's something in my
teeth. Also, like, what kind of the bloody audacity? What do I owe you? Like, actually standing there like, oh, you owe me a twerk because you're black and the music is playing. Excuse me? Is it not my decision? What? Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's just like, and I just feel like that's like microaggression itself. Like, there's so many microaggressions with black women and like how they're supposed to go about things as well. Like, if you even like, just even things like, you wouldn't even like, even things like, you get mad or something, and then people look at you like, aren't you gonna fight her? Aren't you gonna get mad? Aren't you gonna like looking at you as if you're gonna address the situation in an inappropriate way, or if you're gonna like pop off, like like literally like how guys get excited when black women get angry because they're like, oh, it's gonna like what? Always expecting us to like be just ready to fight, like what the hell? Like, if I actually stand there and speak as someone with like my proper English and say like that wasn't right, you're like disappointed or something.
Yes.